My name is Alex. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Azooka. I'm here to give you a quick overview of what's happening in the genomic space in India and what we are working on. I'll just give you a quick backstory about who we are and why the name Azooka, because we get mistaken for bazooka a lot. Okay. So Azooka means sweet in Brazilian Portuguese. That's when I had the spark to start the company when I was on a trip to Sao Paulo. And that's all about it. Okay. So we are an ISC invested startup. We started the journey by innovating or coming up with the first DNA binding molecule to be reported after 46 years. The earliest known DNA binding molecule was called Cyber. It's a biohazardous molecule. It was having a lot of problems in diagnostics. So I'm not going to go deeper into that and lose the crowd here. The point was that when we started developing this molecule, there were very little takers for a people to license this molecule from India. So because we were in ISC, we were working on disease detection or infectious diseases. So that was the path we were supposed to take, but we couldn't take because COVID came to be the most infectious disease, and India was stuck with a major problem of how will you transport this COVID-19 virus at room temperature. So that's when we came up with India's first biosample collection kit, where you can transport samples at room temperature, or else you would need, everybody who's transporting would have seen people having a lot of dry ice shipping along with this. So, and after COVID, we had an amazing manufacturing unit and no customers, because after COVID, everybody kind of went back to the old methods. Nobody was willing to go molecular. So we went and asked our customers, which is the biggest problem to solve? And all of them told that, go after cancer liquid biopsy, go after neonatal testing, and that's what we did. And coming from a software background, because I used to work in Zoho earlier, so I wanted to hit a mass market, whereas these markets were always smaller. That is, always at any point of time, only 30% of the people would buy the product or would consume the product. So that's when a very interesting shift happened. I'll probably talk about that. So this is the kind of a workflow of how things happen. You go to a well-developed country like the US, Switzerland, anywhere, they would take a sample, which is a swab sample, and then go through a molecular analysis and tell you what's your problem. That is the sequence of how DNA sequencing comes into the picture and how diseases are diagnosed. India is not yet in this format because we don't have the building blocks of sample collection, processing, and the sequencing there. So that's when we came up with our own product line, which will give you everything that you need, the entire workflow here. So that's when our products took an interesting turn. I'm sure all of you would have come across these products, which is BugSpeaks. We have Sova Health, we have Good Bug. Now, if you look at all the supplements market, gut seems to be in the center of all the health and health supplements. And if you look at all these market products, everybody uses our platform. Okay, BugSpeaks, Sova Health, Good Bug, all of them are using our sample collection tubes in order to get to the market, and that is what we have become. So after that, what is the next problem that we have is, once you have this test, all these have become critical for D2C markets where people are buying it from Amazon or Flipkart or any other product. The turnaround time is the problem, because once you take a test, you take around 2 weeks for people to get the results back. We have 2 to 3 experts working on it, and it is kind of very complicated because you have to use 3 different tools, 20 to 30 different steps. This was pretty problematic, and people were not able to do that. So that's when we came up with, with all the AI we are playing, we thought first, let's get most of the AI demos that you see there says that, plan my trip, plan my shopping, plan my whatever, which is kind of very, very trivial. I don't think you need AI agents to do a small heavy lifting like planning your trip to Spain. Okay, so we came up with agentic AI that will take DNA sequence file, which is close to 10 TB to 50 TB, and process it. Currently, it takes around 1 week, 7 days, 3 to 7 days, and it takes around 3 experts to process it. Our goal is, we have tried to process it within 45 minutes. I'm doing this as a teaser. We have not yet released the product. When we come lesser than 30 minutes, we'll probably publish the data out. I'm using this as a kind of platform to say that so far we are at 45, maybe in a couple of weeks will be better. So the important thing that I learned about this agentic platform is that in order to create the expert, right, earlier knowledge was split between your employees. Now you can actually create the virtual agents who will retain the knowledge and you will keep it within the company. So we are trying to present the solution to 2 hospitals in Saudi Arabia. Maybe I'll name them after the deal is closed. But what they are trying to do is they are trying to eliminate the need of experts all the time in order to produce the report. And that's when I think building the agentic AI platform is going to be there. So this is the sneak peek of the UI. So usually people have to follow all these different steps. We just have simplified it by saying that once you upload the sequence, it performs all the 6 steps and hits you back with the report quite inherently. That's amazing part. So what we have done first is that most of you would have heard about the gut microbiome test that takes the profile of your stomach. It tells you how your digestion happens so that each of you can customize the food. We have come up with India's first, or so to say, the world's second skin microbiome test that can really process your gut and skin and tell you your skin health. Cosmetics being the really big industry, we wanted to break it, and most of them are using glorified paint in the name of makeup, not really kind of working on the health issues that are underlying in the skin. So that is what we are trying to address with this. So we are the second ones to launch this. I'm not going to get into the details of the report, but the AI is fully customizable. I'm sure that you've heard enough about ChatGPT and Perplexity and all these things. I'll tell you what is the difference between them, okay? Every AI solution out there has got the copy of an internet, and if you put your data out there, you are going to be their training objects. What we have done is local AI, which means that it will run in your laptop on accelerated CPUs and not on GPUs. India cannot afford $20,000 per month, which is the agentic AI platform that ChatGPT is coming up with. We are planning to start with just $2,000 and a local accelerated CPU, and that is when we are kind of packed in the whole vector store in order to start with CPUs and then scale to GPUs, because most of them have just got an AI plan and not worked on it. So and it's kind of entirely open source, and that's the way it is going to go. We are yet to test this with Grok 3. It's already working with DeepSeek R1 as well, hosted on Perplexity. We are just not got our hands on Grok 3 yet in order to do the benchmark testing. I think we'll be working on it in order to do that. So even if you don't like us, right? So it's a GitHub open source. If you're really good at compiling from a GitHub, you're welcome to do that. And we can get started. So I think India is on the verge of breaking through on the genomics front. I think most of us rely on tools which are pretty much open source, pretty much closed source, and we are actually planning to offload all our knowledge onto another cloud platform. I would say that if you are having an alternate plan, if any of you have read the US Patriot Act, and if all of you know that Trump is putting America first, so we have to put our company first and our IP first. If any of you have the same concern as me, do reach out. I think we can have a conversation after this. Thank you all.